Item number 3, we had a intergovernmental meeting with the school district last week, and one of the issues that those council members who were there asked me to put on the agenda was the issue of school crossing guards. The school district is in the process of having their own police department, and the question becomes whether or not the school crossing guards should become the school district's employees totally. Right now, we share the cost of the school crossing guards with the school district, and I have been asked to bring this to council's attention this evening and offer a forum for a discussion on it. Anybody have any comments?
I think the school should take over the crossing guards.
Okay.
That kind of, you get too many hands in that pot. I mean, they kind of go hand in hand.
I agree with Mr. Cleary.
Are they fully up and running with their police force?
My understanding is no.
So we have to wait till they actually have their police force up and running before it happens?
Right. They're making progress.
That would be my recommendation.
What I-
Is there a tentative date?
I don't think the school crossing guards have anything to do with their police department.
No, but it has to do with the school,
Huh?
with the school itself.
What are they doing now for the
But
crossing?
I'm saying them being licensed to have a police department doesn't.
Oh, we're doing it.
You want to expand on that, Ron, a little bit? I think not everybody understands I understand what you're saying, but you want to be a little more clear on what you're saying.
I don't think that I think the school district could hire and employ school crossing guards tomorrow, and it would have nothing to do with their police department that they're applying to.
Is that what most districts do? I mean, are most districts, do they employ the school crossing guards? I don't know what's.
My experience is it's a shared cost in my experience working in other municipalities most of the time.
What is our budget for school crossing guard, roughly?
About 47,000.
Doug, you want to come on up here a minute, because I know you have some data on that a little bit, and, the number. I think we have currently 4, am I correct?
Yeah, we currently have 4 school crossing guards. We administer that through the police department. We share costs with them. Our cost is roughly 47. It's been between 45 and 50,000 a year. They get some stipends for cell phones, they can call for help. They have, of course, they're paid an hourly rate that I think is part of our budget every year for their part-time. They're all part-time employees.
Does the school district pay any of that?
Yeah, they pay half. They pay half too. I think the total cost is somewhere near $80,000.
Yeah, we have budgeted
Yeah.
for
Let me ask a question. If they had to call for help,
part-time guards.
if something happened and one of the
just
guards
said.
had to call for help, would they call their police department, or would they call?
They would call us.
They would call you?
Yeah, absolutely. The question really comes down, at one time we used to have as many, you are right, Steve, at one time we used to have as many as 8
I remember.
guards. As we've attritioned down just by attrition of age, people leaving, and we're down to 4 here. We have 2 over at the University Park School, we have 1 in Mellon Plan, and we have 1 at
Garden
Old
City?
Garden City Drive and Old 22.
So it's roughly 80,000 for 4 part-timers?
Yeah, I think that's pretty close.
20,000 apiece. Remember, we were talking?
Part-time.
I'd have to, the budget we have, it was always been an issue about whether we should budget the full amount in our budget and get reimbursed. We do a reimbursement with the school district. But I'm pretty sure maybe that's the full amount. Maybe we're splitting all that there.
Does
I
that
could be-
go out to capture, like, when you do the light right there at the school?
Yeah, I think it is.
Does that also include, like, when the police officer manually
Let's talk
does the
about
light?
this side over.
At the high school coming out of
Yeah.
Gateway Campus? No, we just do
Oh,
that.
that's something
That's something totally
completely
separate. Yeah, we only
Okay.
do that during special events.
Oh, okay.
We don't do that for a routine day in, day out on a school. We're
Well,
actually
that-
looking at the timing on that to make it a little bit better, though. The timing's going to be better in the mornings. It's going to be a little different. Mr. Yugas is looking at that now. My experience, just to throw it out, my experience is that, I'll take Penn Hills, Mount Lebanon, and the city of Pittsburgh. City of Pittsburgh's totally separate, but Penn Hills and Mount Lebanon, they do under their police department. It's not, I think it's a shared expense. But I think that's kind of like a 50/50.
Doug, I
depending
think
what
that's
municipality you're at.
44,000 is the total.
Is it the total? So
I think it might be, and then we get reimbursed. from
Then we
the
get
school
reimbursed.
district.
So I misspoke there. So you're looking at like 47 total, so it's costing us 20.
That sounds better.
24-ish, yeah.
That's way better.
Because you figure,
Yeah, Jimmy wanted a
In
job.
the previous years, the 8 people would have been close to 40,000.
Yeah, with
We had
8.
8, we had close to
they only
40,000.
put in 4 hours a day.
Yeah, with 8, I
Yeah,
can
between
understand
cheap
that.
now.
3, well, that's a very good point, Ron. It's between 3 and 5 hours a day.
'Cause they-
Some guards get
Couple hours
5.
in the morning, couple
Well,
hours.
some guards used to get also lunchtime too, so there was some issue there. So yes, it was a couple hours. So it's a minimum of 4. I think it's been between 3.5 and 5 hours. It's fluctuated through the years. It also fluctuates on how many students are walking, and they are having, that issue.
Well, I guess the question goes to you all, council. You certainly are the ones that dictate that. Do we continue with the same program? Do we just turn it over to the school district? That was part of the discussion at that meeting. The school district made it perfectly clear they would like us to continue to split the cost and still keep it under Doug. But again, they are having their own, as it was brought up, their own police department. But I agree with Ron, that has nothing to do with the school guard. So again, this is your call, council, and I'd like to hear from all of you,
Well,
really.
are these school crossing guards at the campuses? Or are they out in,
Neighborhood.
Intersections.
They're on intersections.
Old William Penn and 22 is,
They're intersections, basically.
or Old William Penn and Garden
Garden
State
City,
Drive is
yeah,
probably,
yeah.
Well, Doug
is there one at
answered-
Evergreen too?
Well, he
Quit sitting
answered the
down.
question that if something happened and they had to call for help, they wouldn't call the police department, the school's police department. They would call our police
yeah, I
department.
understand that.
And you got to understand, really only 2 right now are around the
Because there isn't
school.
a school.
At University, well, really only 1. One is at University Park Elementary School. The other one is located at College Park and Knoll Drive, so that's at a corner. And the one at Garden City and Old 22 is kind of watching just a school bus stop. It's a pretty big stop there. It's got some fairly good traffic. And then the other one is in Mellon Plant at the corner of Thomas and
Thomas
one of the
Street,
streets, yeah. So it's not at a school either.
And there is one
At a
up
bus
at,
stop.
off of Old Ramsey also, I believe.
No, not anymore.
Not-
That's,
Oh, has that
by
been
attrition,
eliminated?
that's gone. There's only 4 left.
Yeah.
Did we eliminate?
There was
the-
one there,
Did
though.
we
There
eliminate
was
the
one.
other ones because of money or because we couldn't get people to work them?
No, it was just an attrition thing, and we just didn't have the, most of the kids are bust. The vast majority of them are bust or driven
is-
by cars. The days of walkers are kind of over. And when you have people walking, that's the reason that the ones at Ramsey were there on and off, because we did have some walkers. And I believe, one of our school guards said they only have 4 walkers at University Park this year.
Wow.
So, trying to think about,
Ramsey,
we've kind of
2
just
of
letting
them,
them
I
go
think.
because they've not been as some districts, for instance, Mount Lebanon, they don't bus anybody, everybody walks. They got 50 or 35 school crossing guards. Penn Hill's in their heyday, Ron, if you remember, they had somewhere like 60 school crossing guards. Those days are all kind of over.
How do you know how busy they are? You just talk to the guards?
Just talking to the guards, yeah. We routinely, we used to send them to a safety class every year. We routinely do a CPR class recertification, which we've done this year. We obviously give them a stipend to make sure they all got they have money for a cell phone, because it wouldn't make sense if they couldn't call anybody. So we do offset that a little bit. So there's some other expenses besides just their hourly rate. But of course, they don't get benefits or anything like that. There's a uniform allowance, that kind of thing. We have an MOU with them.
But all that's split with the school district.
Yeah, it's all split as the budget goes.
I'd like to
50/50 split.
recommend that we maintain our partnership.
I agree.
Paul?
I'm good with it.
Me too.
I agree with that. Maybe it's something we
We
need
don't do
to,
that till next week.
we need to
Yeah, let's put it,
reassess all the stops.
can somebody put a motion Tuesday that we continue the way we've
I'll
been?
put it as a motion
Yeah, there you
for the, on the agenda.
And then perhaps it's something we look at budget time as far as if we need to reassess some of these stops, if we reallocate people.
Well, and that was kind of where I was going with who owns then to try to not muddy those waters.
Right.
If we've got Gateway Police Force saying, no, we want them here, and our guy saying, no, we want them here, because we've just added another entity to this.
Well, I think if they stay under our budget, whether they reimburse us any money or not, if they stay under our budget, under Chief Cole's budget, I think he's the boss.
Yeah, because it would be outside
agree, yeah.
traffic. It's not at the schools
Right,
proper.
right.
So it would be our
And that reimbursement, is that just like a memorandum of understanding, or is there actually a document written up that?
There was a document written up, that my understanding.
I don't know.
Doug, am I correct?
you
keep sitting down, Doug.
It's been a while ago.
Need
but
the
it has been.
exercise anyway. No, I don't have, I've never seen, we have an MOU with the school crossing guards that was done years ago, talking about, amount of uniforms and that kind of stuff, the offset, but I don't remember seeing any, there may be one from years back, I'm going, long, I'm talking like in
Maybe
the
we need to
80s.
reissue a new one.
But maybe that might not be a bad
Yeah.
idea, cleaning that up and having an MOU with the
Yeah.
school. Absolutely.
Is that okay, council? We have Bob write another MOU up.
Would we have to talk to the school board about that first, though? If we're changing anything?
It still falls
We're not
under Doug.
changing it.
Well, I think you can propose something, and then obviously they can vote on it.
Well, I think that's all we're doing
You can vote on it.
is asking for them to split the cost with us. We're keeping the administration and
So basically maintaining the same.
The existing
added-
Put it in
agreement.
some
a
type
new
of written
document.
format, maintaining the same way. Okay. And then we could certainly talk about if we want to ever increase that, or as we see things here, but as I'm seeing, my past, certainly 15 years being involved with it at an administration level, it's decreasing. It's not something that should be increased.
Any other comments or from council here?